Welcome to the Scam Economy with your host, Matt Bender.
Hello, Scam Economy fans. It is your host, Matt Binder, and I'm just starting out this episode to tell you that this week's Scam Economy is a little bit different. It is Scam Economy Live. If you didn't notice, last week we did not have our usual Thursday release date for an episode, and that was because last Thursday, May 26th, the time this show would usually drop as a podcast and on YouTube, I was doing a live version of Scam Economy as part of the Digital Void Media Brooklyn Festival at Littlefields in, well, Brooklyn, self-explanatory. And, it was a great night, great presentations and other podcasts. I want to thank Josh Chapdelaine of Digital Void Media for setting it all up. Got to do a show alongside Bridget Todd of No Girls on the Internet, and she had Ashley Reese on her show. Jake Flores and Dylan Adler were there. Calhan Rosenblatt and Stephen Castillo, and a number of other Ryan Broderick, who's been a guest on this show before, was there doing a presentation. And of course, my guest on Scam Economy Live, Michael Edison Hayden of Southern Poverty Law Center. So what you're about to see, if you're watching the YouTube version, or hear if you're listening to the podcast on this week's Scam Economy, is Scam Economy Live. And the topic is, I don't want to spoil too much, but the topic is basically looking at cryptocurrency's two biggest communities, the Bitcoin community, the Ethereum community, looking at who makes up the Ethereum community, looking at who makes up the Bitcoin community. Michael Edison Hayden joins me to discuss specifically his reporting on some of the horrible people who make up one of those communities, especially. And then the overall point of this episode is, after breaking down those communities, pointing out how those similarities and differences between those two communities, that's not really the breakdown of the two splits in the cryptocurrency world. It's something a little bit different. Again, don't want to spoil too much. So patreon.com/MattBinder to support the show, scameconomy.com for all the links to where you can find the show, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, etc., etc. And then, of course, youtube.com/MattBinder for the video version of this. And, this video version is live with me and Michael Edison Hayden in the same room on stage with an audience. So this week, if you don't usually catch the video version of the show, you might want to check out this one. It's a bit different this time around. And I hope to do more live versions of the show too. But let's get to this one finally. I'm blabbing on here. Here we go.
Next, I'd love to introduce Matt Binder, host of the Scam Economy Live. Matt Binder is the host of Majority Report, or part of the Majority Report with Sam Sater and Doomed, and he delves into the world of cryptocurrency in order to reveal the frauds, grifts, and scams. And there's plenty, because really the whole thing is a scam. It's a scam economy with special guest, senior investigative reporter, and spokesperson for the Southern Poverty Law Center, Michael Edison Hayden.
Welcome to the Scam Economy with your host, Matt Bender.
Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing tonight? How many of you hold cryptocurrency? Well, I see there's some people who are raising their hand, and I want to offer my condolences for your losses. For everybody else, you are in luck, because I host a show called Scam Economy. And out of the 10,000 cryptocurrency podcasts and shows out there on the internet, the ones that pump crypto and tell you how to invest and become the next Dogecoin millionaire, I host the one that tells you how it all fucking sucks. So this is Scam Economy Live, and I was asked to do this, the first live episode of Scam Economy, and at the Digital Void Media Fest. And when I was asked to do it, it's in Brooklyn, and I'm thinking, what should the theme of this episode of the show be? Live scam economy in Brooklyn. And so, I'm thinking, okay, who's the first person that comes to mind when you think of Brooklyn? Let's all say this together now, okay? Bill de Blasio. Right? And, Bill de Blasio, one of his big campaign slogans was how, it was New York is the tale of two cities. How basically it's the rich and the poor, the have and the have-nots, the 1% and the 99%. And we're often sold cryptocurrency, whether it be Bitcoin or Ether or Dogecoin or any of the other 10,000 shit coins out there that are all just going to scam you and steal your money. We're told that this is going to somehow be what helps the poor, the working class, the unbanked, those who are downtrodden and just need to get out of the old money system and get into the new money system, which would be cryptocurrency. That's bullshit. Cryptocurrency is not going to save anyone. And as I'm thinking of how this all goes down and how the crypto community sort of sells this as, helping these people who are struggling, I thought of that Bill de Blasio slogan for his campaign. And, to break this down, to really make people understand just how much crypto is, it's even worse, actually. In fact, 0.01% of people who hold Bitcoin, there's 19 million Bitcoin in circulation, 0.01% hold 27% of the Bitcoin in circulation. I mean, that's a lot, right? And so to really get this through people's heads and minds so they can understand, I'm going to talk in a way that crypto people usually try to sell this all to you. Basically, we have two main cryptocurrencies most people are aware of. There's, like I said, a whole bunch of others, but, Bitcoin's up here, Ether on the Ethereum blockchain's here, and then everyone else is just like, who gives a fuck? So we're going to talk about the two communities. We call it the tale of the two communities. And we're going to get down to who makes up these communities, the Ethereum community and the Bitcoin community, and really try to understand them because at the end of the day, both communities, again, just want to scam you and take your money. So first we're going to talk a little bit about the Ethereum community. And I think when people think of Ethereum, they think of NFTs, Bored Ape Yacht Club, cyberpunks. And the Ethereum network is sort of sold to people as, this is going to be for artists. Struggling artists are finally going to be able to make money, whether you're a musician, a comedian, a fine artist, whatever. This is where you will be able to make money on your art because you mint it as an NFT, you sell that digital receipt that's connected to your media, whatever you created. Someone buys it for a shit ton of money. We've seen it all in the news. They talk about the $1 million that the Beeple made off his NFT sales. And this is supposed to be revolutionary for artists. But when you look at every other story, aside from maybe the Beeple one, there's a whole background there that we don't have the time to get into, where there's a very rich person who basically set it all up to buy it to sort of pump up the NFT market. But other than that, when we think of the news stories about NFTs, we see these stories of, not so underground artists like, Paris Hilton and Jimmy Fallon. Two people, when I think of indie artist, musician, those are the two people who come to mind, right? So you've probably seen this clip, but let's play a little of it so you can get an understanding of what's going on here.
Last time you were on the show, I asked you to explain NFTs, and you did so in a great way, which is a very hard thing to really explain to a lot of people. But since then, Forbes has named you one of the top 50 most influential people in the NFT space. So congrats on that.
Thank you.
What you're doing.
Thank you. I'm so proud. I love being a part of this community and being a voice and sharing my platform and just getting the word out there because I think it's just such an incredible thing to be a part of.
Yeah, I jumped in.
I know, I heard. I'm so happy I taught you what they were.
You did. You taught me what's up, and then I bought an ape.
I got an ape too because I saw you on the show with Beeple and you said you got a MoonPay.
Pause it.
I went and I copied you and did the same thing.
You did? Mm-hmm. This is your...
This is all riveting, isn't it? I mean, just really amazing. I mean, they're talking on network TV about their Bored Ape Yacht Club picks, their NFTs, which, by the way, we should say, Bored Ape Yacht Club, biggest NFT project everyone's familiar with. The people who are making all the money from it are online marketers. They actually paid the artists who made those Bored Ape photos. Yeah, I know, as amazing as those Bored Ape pictures are, they paid those artists a one-time fee and then bask in the glory of the royalties from the Bored Ape Yacht Club sales on the aftermarket, and those artists don't see anything more. Let's continue, though, and hear more from these downtrodden punk rockers.
Copied you and did the same thing.
You did? Mm-hmm. This is your
mine.
ape.
We got a question. Actually, pause it for a second. I wasn't expecting to take questions, but let's do it.
Okay, the Bored Ape, the producers who made the Bored Ape, are you saying they're not making commissions on all the sales? They're actually making a flat fee?
They were paid up. Okay, so she asked the artists who made Bored Ape Yacht Club and the artwork for the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs. They don't get a commission. That's right. There's 4 guys. 2 of them internet marketers, 2 of them programmers. They are the 4 who are involved in the parent company Yuga Labs, who make all the money from the royalties. When they set up the Bored Ape Yacht Club project in April, well, they launched in April of 2021, those artists who made the actual ape artwork, they were paid a one-time flat fee. They don't get any royalties from it.
Do you know how much it was?
I think I heard it was like $10,000 or $20,000 they got, but these were multiple artists. It's not comparable. Yuga Labs, in one night, a couple of weekends ago, on their latest NFT sale, they made something like $215 million on a Saturday night. So yeah, we're talking about, you know, we're helping out the little guys, right? Oh yeah, sure. But this isn't what we're sold on NFTs, right? We're told that NFTs are a way where artists can sell their artwork and get all royalties, you know, in perpetuity, right?
If I went to the Bored Ape guys, I'd be like, I'm not going to sign this, I would like royalties. But because they didn't, where do they stand?
Oh, well, you know, the artists actually came out and said that they weren't informed at the time how popular this was then going to end up being, or even when it was popular, they had no idea, actually, until way after when it blew up in the media. Like, the Yuga Labs guys were making tons of money, and the artists had no clue at this point, up until, you know, when the NFT market blew up in the mainstream, and then you had, like, CNBC and the Wall Street Journal covering it. Let's play that. Let's continue playing that clip.
Like the hat, the shades.
And how did you pick? Because you can pick your ape.
Yes, I was going through a lot of them, and I was like, I want something that like kind of reminds me of me, but this one, it does. I think we made like another version of it where he takes the hat off and blonde hair comes out.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
you can do
enough
that.
of Jimmy Fallon and Paris Hilton, but hear what she just said there. They made a version of her ape where they take the hat off and long flowing blonde hair comes out. Cool. But this next pic I'm going to show you is something that Gwyneth Paltrow posted on her Twitter account when, you know, she was trying to show the NFT community that she's cool and hip. Take a look at what Gwyneth Paltrow did with her Bored Ape Yacht Club pic. Now, we are to believe that either A, Gwyneth Paltrow and Paris Hilton both had the same brilliant idea, and at the same time are really good animators, and did this to their own Bored Ape Yacht Club photo, just perchance. What a coinky-dink. Or what's really going on here is that the talent agency that represents so many of these actors and actresses and famous people actually have invested in OpenSea, the premier NFT marketplace where all these NFTs are sold and bought and the royalties are paid out. And, you know, I think what we're seeing here is these artists and actors and actresses don't know anything. And it's number 2. their talent agency is basically telling them to buy these Bored Apes, or they're having someone buy it for them. I mean, it literally says right there, thanks MoonPay Concierge. This is a crypto company that goes out and helps celebrities pick up NFTs. These celebrities don't care about this stuff. They're on TV selling it to you to pump up the market, so their talent agency, which invested in OpenSea, the dominant NFT marketplace, is able to make more money from retail investors, again, like you and me. And, you know, this is what they want. Like, Jimmy Fallon, Paris Hilton, Gwyneth Paltrow, they have nothing to lose here and everything to gain. So the idea that we are going to be saved by NFTs seems pretty bullshit to me. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, now that I gave you a little taste of the Ethereum platform, where we're going to help all these artists. And, you know, this is the platform, this is the blockchain network that's going to help the little guy with the NFT sales and the artwork. We're going to talk about the next big blockchain platform, Bitcoin. And to talk about Bitcoin, I'm going to bring out my guest at this time. He's a senior investigator at the Southern Poverty Law Center, Michael Hayden, everybody.
Thank you. I don't know what I'm doing here. I dox people for money. I don't really know when I'm on stage.
Oh yeah, this is not good for you, right? I mean, so let's talk about this, because Ethereum is known for the, again, quote unquote, artists, but Bitcoin, excuse me, is known for, I guess you can say, the libertarian Ron Paulites and white supremacists.
That's true. You know, Jaron Lanier, who's a futurist, a lot of people may be familiar with his writing about social media. You know, he mentioned recently that a large number of, that it's understood in the tech industry that a large number of people who were early investors in Bitcoin were also people you would not want to associate yourselves with. And we did some reporting that showed, yeah. That
I can say that's also true for people who got into Bitcoin late, too.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, some of the people who, you know, hold a lot of Bitcoin are people like Stefan Molyneux, who kind of emerged as a libertarian pundit, but is kind of famous for being banned from mainstream internet platforms for saying that people of color are predisposed to being less intelligent than white people. And women are less intelligent men. So we're talking about a pretty heinous figure. But he holds a lot of Bitcoin.
So when we talk about white supremacy, I have this graphic up from the SLPC, and you know, it's Stefan Molyneux. We have Weave, who's known as a hacker with a, by the way, he has a nice photo online that goes around if you ever want to look up Weave, W-E-E-V. Giant swastika tattoo on his chest. Andrew Anglin of the Daily Stormer, a white supremacist website. We got Peter Brimlow of VDare, which, by the way, was quoted in the Buffalo Shooters Manifesto. Jared Taylor, one of the oldest white supremacists that are still active out there. Really some of the internet's worst people. But someone who's not on here, because you looked into them differently, at a different time, and just so happened that Michael Hayden put out this report earlier today, so we got some breaking news here on the show. Breaking news, folks! I appreciate you timing this for this event, by the way. They held this purposely for all this. Tell me about what you uncovered just today about Alex Jones and Bitcoin.
So yeah, so a very wealthy person, you know, we describe him as a Bitcoin fairy, is bestowing upon Alex now an amount that reaches $8 million over the course of just 26 days.
Wait. How much?
$8 million over 26 days. So basically the way this works is Jones has been, you know, in a lot of trouble because of the Sandy Hook lawsuit, as you know, many of you may be familiar with. He has declared bankruptcy, and he goes on his show and says things to the effect of like, you know, I don't know, I'm gonna do my best.
Go ahead, do it. Go for it. Yeah, come on! Let's do it. Give me your best Alex Jones. Let's go.
We're at war with these demons. And if you don't bestow upon me the money to fight these demons for you on your behalf, you will be eradicated.
Anyway, essentially, that's exactly what it is.
I just want to point out that he didn't just do like the grovelly voice, he even gave that little tint of Texan. You heard that?
I spent a lot of time listening to assholes online. The point is that he makes these pleas for money, and someone who holds a tremendous amount of Bitcoin is giving Alex Jones money at a time when he is trying to declare bankruptcy and he is trying to avoid giving money to the Sandy Hook parents. So we have been finding that money, and we are hoping that by catching these transactions, we are able to help get it to them. But it's scary because Jones, of course, very intimately involved in pushing Stop the Steal. Really pushed.
Which is also probably a slogan that crypto people are using right now if they've invested in Terra or Luna. Stop stealing my money, Do Kwon. Please.
That's correct. But yeah, it's not just the obviously the heinous disinformation that everybody's familiar with, and defaming people who just lost their child in a mass murder. But also, leading an insurrection against the United States. And doing it basically to drive up traffic to the InfoWars store. I mean, we really believe, because we saw like a huge increase in traffic to the InfoWars store. I mean, so much of this is just about making money and money transferring between people. It's not ideological necessarily. It's really scary, the amount of money that they're giving him.
Right. Do we have any idea who this big benefactor is? Any speculation?
We are working at it. We get a lot of people be like, it's Peter Thiel, and it's like, there are a lot of people outside of Peter Thiel who are also have a lot of money and really want this country to turn in a hard right authoritarian direction so they can hoard more money and more power for themselves, which is what all this is. It's a business transaction.
AKA banking the unbanked, right? The little guy. Now, I actually have my own, I don't want to say speculation, like I think it's this guy, but I think there's a chance it could be based on previous things that Alex Jones has said. Now, we might have to move out of the way for this clip, but I have a clip I want to play here. And, wow, you are much taller than me, Michael.
That's okay. On the internet, it's totally even.
Right, so let me play this clip. Listen to who Alex Jones, the name that Alex Jones drops right off the bat, and what he says about what this guy bestowed on him a couple of years ago. Oh, wait, that's not it. Where is it? Here we go. Let's do this.
And Max Kaiser comes to me and he says, I have 10,000 Bitcoins for you. This is the future. It'll be the new global currency. He's on record. And I'm like drinking wine and eating a fucking steak at night. And I go, okay, great. I lost the laptop. He put the 10,000 on it. Today, what's 10,000 Bitcoins worth? A lot.
Yeah. 10,000 times 50. 5 million?
50, yeah, 500,000?
Mm-hmm.
$510 million.
Yeah.
$510 million.
You fucking idiot.
So if you didn't catch that, Alex Jones says that years ago, I think he said 2013, Max Kaiser, he's an RT guy, he was on Russia Today, long time like libertarian. He's been big into Bitcoin since the very early days. Max Kaiser, according to Alex Jones, gave him 10,000 Bitcoin on a laptop long ago, when it wasn't worth anywhere near how much it's worth now. And Alex Jones lost that laptop, according to Alex Jones, and lo and behold, Alex Jones lost what would now be worth something like $5 million. Well, I'm going to speculate either A, that Max Kaiser is giving him money, because Max Kaiser clearly is heavily invested in Bitcoin since the early days, or B, Michael, do you think it's possible that Alex Jones actually didn't lose that laptop and is giving himself money via Bitcoin wallets?
I think it's definitely non-zero.
There we go. And to give you a little idea, now, when we talk about Alex Jones and some of these other white supremacists, we're not, these people aren't like being invited to like the Bitcoin meetings and the big conferences, but Max Keiser is. And Max Keiser was just recently at the Bitcoin Conference 2022 in Miami. I actually had Ryan Broderick on my show to talk about it a couple weeks ago because he attended. And Max Keiser was there, really happy about the El Salvadorian president, Nayib Bukele. And that's because this guy is really big into Bitcoin and has heavily invested the country of El Salvador into Bitcoin, hoping it will be El Salvador's savior. That's not the case. He bought every single Bitcoin he's bought for the country is now at a loss compared to the current price of Bitcoin. But here's Max Keiser propping up El Salvador and Bukele for their Bitcoin promotion at Bitcoin 2022 in Miami just a few weeks ago.
Right on. How's everybody doing?
Just take a look at what he does with that flag.
Sufficiently orange pilled.
That's how much the people of El Salvador mean to Max Keiser. He waves that flag and just throws it down on the floor. Who gives a shit, right? I did my point. I had my purpose. And so, I don't know if Max Keiser's behind this, but it's clear that Max Keiser is a huge figure in the Bitcoin community, and he previously gave Alex Jones, a conspiratorial, far-right provocateur, a ton of Bitcoin. Whether Alex still has it or not, who knows? But here he is at Bitcoin 2022 representing the wonderful crypto known as Bitcoin.
I should note also, Daily Stormer has repeatedly linked to Keiser's material, cited him, and when he talks about things like elites and bankers or whatever, they slip in things about Jewish people. So there's a kind of a back and forth between neo-Nazi white supremacist community and Keiser's material on RT.
Now, Michael, let me ask you, when you look into these crypto fascists, how many of them got those red laser eyes?
Quite a few. I should note that also Marjorie Taylor Greene has one these days. It's like a version of one, right?
That right there is a senator of the United States, by the way, Senator Cynthia Lummis. She's a big Bitcoin promoter. She wants the government not to regulate it, and for basically she wants Congress people to promote Bitcoin because surprise, surprise, guess who's invested in Bitcoin? But this whole laser eye thing, it makes me feel bad for Cyclops of the X-Men because he's probably the most prominent person before Bitcoin to be, to have laser eyes. And just I wanted to, for the record, absolve him of any connection to Bitcoin because, as he previously announced in his solo comic Cyclops #1, that he never votes Republican. So, Michael, we don't need to hear Alex Jones anymore. We don't need to hear from Max Keiser anymore either. So, Michael, what's next in terms of you looking into and researching how neo-Nazis, white supremacists, white nationalists, extremist groups are utilizing Bitcoin? Like, not only that, what is the main reason you think that they are attracted to Bitcoin, other than the fact that it was started with a strong libertarian, far-right ideology?
Well, the main reason they use it is to skirt around detection by law enforcement. They'll say skirt around detection from us, but the reality is it's really just skirt around detection from law enforcement. Daily Stormer, for example, has regular payments that they use through Bitcoin that come monthly that we detected. Basically, first of the month, Andrew Anglin of Daily Stormer is paying Weave in the way you would pay somebody. The only difference is that the amount of Bitcoin he gets fluctuates depending on the price of Bitcoin at that moment. But the biggest one right now that they're trying to use is Monero, which is a privacy-based cryptocurrency. I'm sure you've You're familiar with it. If anybody who's read our reporting before knows about Monero. People are trying to get to the bottom of how Monero, how to track Monero and how to use it. It is a privacy-based crypto that essentially obscures. You can track the beginnings of the transaction from Bitcoin to they're called step transactions from Bitcoin to Monero, but not. Once it gets to Monero, we don't know how it's changing hands. We're trying to break that right now. But they're using it to skirt around law enforcement and detection. So if you need somebody to do a thing, right? We all have suspicions that some people are doing disinformation for money, right? For example, right? You just somehow, for some reason, they're all talking about one particular thing during a breaking news event. And you're like, why are all these assholes talking about this lie at one time? And you have a suspicion that perhaps it's not organic. There could be a payment on the other side of that somewhere, right? And Monero enables them to do it without being tracked. So we are trying to get to the bottom of that and try to figure out who is doing it. Sometimes it's coming potentially from foreign governments. Sometimes it's coming from very rich people in the United States, right? It is a way to pay. It is a way to pay for dirty deeds.
That's really interesting because what we're told, one of the benefits of the blockchain is that it's a public ledger. All these transactions are put on the blockchain. You might be anonymous based on your wallet. If you haven't posted your wallet address anywhere, no one could really tie it to you. But all the transactions are there. Now, you're telling me that Monero is a little bit different.
Right. You can't just, walk into a Monero transaction. You need to have Bitcoin already to make the transaction with Monero. But once you have it, and again, the first time I ever heard Monero being promoted, it was promoted by Weave of the Daily Stormer, who's a neo-Nazi. It is explicitly to keep people from knowing what you're doing.
Right. Now, we talked about Ethereum, we talked about Bitcoin. Paris Hilton and Jimmy Fallon are not Alex Jones and Weave and Stefan Molyneux. But someone is, again, also not as despicable, but someone that is despicable, in my opinion, is a person by the name of Gary V. Again, not Alex Jones, but this is a guy who promotes the whole hustle culture, tells people all they got to do basically is work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, rise and grind, baby, and they too can be millionaires. And if you're not, there's really no excuse. What the fuck is wrong with you? And if you can believe it, Gary V is also another one of those struggling artists who is big into NFTs. And just this past weekend, he had a VCon NFT convention to promote his line of NFTs called V-Friends, which are literally chicken scratch doodles that Gary V puts on a piece of paper and then sells for thousands of dollars. And, I didn't want to leave you guys on the note of Alex Jones and these terrible white supremacists. So I thought this Gary V thing would be a little bit more fun to end with. Let's check out a clip of Gary V's gift to the people who paid thousands of dollars to attend his NFT convention.
Play the video. I really wanted to do something extremely special for just the people that were actually at VCon. So we teamed up with Rally. I created this remarkable new exclusive character just for VCon, the Viper. And I decided to team up with them and create a scenario where in the app you can go and get a piece of this fractionally, no different than we did with the sharing squirrel, but for free. That's right, all of you in attendance now own a piece of original art through the Rally app by just going there and claiming your percentage of it. How many people join in? If 9 of you do it, then you're going to be dividing it up. If all of you do it, like I hope you do, then all of you will be dividing it by the attendees that are actually here at VCon. Congrats, enjoy, more fun surprises this week.
So this fucking piece of shit is what Gary V gave to the people who paid thousands of dollars to attend his conference. And again, not a physical copy, and not even the whole digital copy, a free fraction of it. A share of the fucking VCon Viper. This chicken scratch doodle that he probably whipped up together in a matter of minutes. Well, I'm not into NFTs, but I like giving people gifts. So I was inspired by Gary Vee. You know, I want to hustle. I want to rise and grind. So I made my own little piece of shit chicken scratch. This is the Scam Economy Anaconda. And, you know, I'm not going to make an NFT of it, but I need to figure out a way to share this with all of you. There's a lot more than one of you here. So I will give you each a fraction of this in the only way you can with a physical copy of this artwork, and that's by ripping it up into many little pieces. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming out to the Digital Void Media Fest. Thank you, Michael Edison Hayden of the Southern Poverty Law Center for joining me tonight.
Thank you very much.
This is Scam Economy, scameconomy.com. Have a great night and don't get scammed. And if you're just listening to the audio-only podcast version of the show, you missed the visual at the end there, where I tore up my physical NFT, also known as a drawing on paper. And I did actually hand it out to a few people who asked for their share of the Scam Economy Anaconda. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoyed it. A little bit different. I've already talked to Michael Edison Hayden, and he's going to come back on this show so we can get deeper into this all in terms of, as he put it in a tweet of his own, shitcoins and cyber Nazis. There's a lot more to discuss. Only had about 30 minutes or so to break it down with him, and did it within the overall theme of the tale of two communities and the crypto 99%, or really 99.99%, right? I think that's it. Versus the 0.01%, right? That's how it is in crypto. A lot much more, equal and equitable, right? But yeah, if you didn't catch, summary. The communities that make up supporters and advocates of the two biggest blockchains, Bitcoin and Ethereum, are sort of very different on their face. You got the artsy types over on the Ethereum world, and then you got the Bitcoin maxi libertarian types on the Bitcoin side. And they'll argue that they're not the same, and one crypto is better than the other, and one is actually the future, and one will be a currency, or one will be a platform. But at the end of the day, the real split is you, me, and that 99.99% of people who are not Bitcoin or Ethereum or crypto millionaires or billionaires. No. The real split is the people who push this stuff on you. The people who have invested a lot because they already are rich. The people who are part of VC firms. The people who are running crypto businesses or trying to hawk their NFT projects. And of course, the white supremacists and neo-Nazis who've made bank from their crypto-fascist fans sending them lots of crypto. That's the real breakdown. That's the real tale. That's the story there. So, folks, once again, patreon.com/MattBinder to support the show. If you can, that would be fantastic. Really trying to build the Patreon page, get regular subscribers who can help me grow this show, my other show, all the work I do, be able to create more content, bring on more people on board to help disseminate that content, break down that content, I should say, get it out there, create more. So yeah, patreon.com/MattBinder. Subscribe to youtube.com/MattBinder for the YouTube channel, twitch.tv/MattBinder as well. I go live there and on YouTube Tuesdays and Thursdays. May go live more than that too. You never know. So subscribe to those two channels to follow me on there and get notifications when I do go live. Also, if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, consider subscribing to the Twitch channel that's a paid subscription with your Twitch Prime subscription. What's that? Well, you get a free Twitch Prime subscription. That's right, a paid Twitch subscription with your Amazon Prime subscription every month. Amazon's literally giving you free money to give away to your favorite Twitch creator. Hopefully that's me. If it's not, that's cool. Just make sure you use it so Amazon just doesn't keep the extra bucks. So twitch.tv/MattBinder. Drop a Twitch Prime subscription if you'd like. Follow me at Matt Binder. Oh, leave reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you can. Really, if you could do so, that would be great. The reviews really do help people find the show if they don't already know about it, because it helps the show rank better on the charts. And I'll tell you, people have told me, hey, I just came across your podcast because I was looking for something new, and there it was on the technology charts. So really, if you can, leave a review. And I think that's it, right? And I think I pretty much nailed everything I wanted to nail. Hope you enjoyed this rare Scam Economy Live. Hope to do it again in the future so it's not so rare, but this is now episode 17, and it's the first time we've done it, so it is considered rare. If this was an NFT, for example, ostensibly this would be the creme de la creme. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. I will see you all next time on the Scam Economy.